beautiful soul. Welcome to the Quantum Business Queen podcast. This podcast is a vortex for activating wealth, riches, and boss bitches. It is here that I teach multi-dimensional business. Our content will fall under 3 different categories: 5D quantum creation, 4D frequency alchemy, and the most potent 3D strategy. Every aspect of business that contributes to the creation of success is covered here. Plus, I will be personally interviewing the most amazing boss bitches that are at the forefront of the game, paving the way for money, magic, and magnetism in business. Let's get ready to activate all of that within you. Hello, and welcome to this episode of the Quantum Business Queen podcast. I am so excited for today, as I am every day, and I really hope you enjoy this next episode. We're going to really talk about the attraction around money and how to call money in, and what intentional energy is behind the money, because we need to understand the intentional energy behind why we want money in order to call it in. I won't give it all away right now, but without further ado, welcome to episode number 41 of the Quantum Business Queen podcast. I hope you enjoy it. If it's already done, you'll visualize exactly where it is you're heading. If you don't know that, that is so crucial. If you can see it in detail, it must happen. Don't freak out if you don't know it, but I want you to make that an absolute high priority to receive what that is for you, because I don't want you kind of squandering, not really sure where you're headed. I want you to have to ask to receive this concrete idea of that this destination, and it's not even a destination, but it's a goal, not a result, a goal that we're headed, so we can fine tune and reverse engineer and really anchor in some potent strategy around what it is that you're wanting to experience. And we'll combine the 3, the 5D, the vision, the knowing, the quantum timeline stuff, the frequency embodiment, and the potent strategy. And when we combine all of those things, it's like, whoa, stand back. Stand back. It'll happen, and it will happen quick. The majority of humanity doesn't truly know what it's like to live in that state. And so it's like 2 things. It's like you don't know what something is unless you've experienced the opposite of it. And unfortunately, humanity has experienced 90% of their programming in the opposite. And so you're kind of going, what does it mean to be in the frequency of the truth of who I am? I don't know that. What does this mean? This is very foreign. The ego is such an interesting thing. The first thing is, it's kind of allowing yourself to see the possibility that life is meant to be lived in a place of expansiveness. Abundance is just, you would have had those glimpses of it where it's just like, you're just in gratitude. You're just like, wow, my life's awesome right now. And then there might be that thing in the back of your mind going, but then I got to go back to work on Monday or whatever. It's a muscle that you build. And the only way that you're going to build it is through having a routine. Literally, I want you guys to have structure. Like, we can learn all this amazing, beautiful, feminine stuff. So if we put the frequency in what I'm teaching you, it's all feminine, but we have to have the masculine structure around it. So I want you to build your practices. I want you to build a routine in the morning. I want you to make sure the first thing that you do when you crack open your eyes is think, oh my God, my pillow is so comfortable. Whatever thought that's going to get you in the right spiral, not the wrong one. And so it's a muscle that you build. It's about when you're feeling dense, you're not in alignment with your soul. That's okay. Well, what story, like be very curious around it with no judgment toward yourself. Okay, what stories am I reeling today? What mental arguments am I having with somebody today? Just be really curious and start with the first step, which is pattern interrupting that. This is the question that you always ask yourself. If I'm in this spiral, what is it that I want? What is it that I do want? And then you'll start thinking, I want to experience this in my business. I really want to be a mentor. I really want to take my family on holidays and be able to spend whatever I want to spend. And then all of a sudden you pattern interrupt that record, and then you start rewiring literally your neurons to think about the things it is that you do want. And all of a sudden you're paving a new path. And so it's not necessarily about how do you know, it's about building the muscle that's strong enough to be the majority of the time in that embodiment, because you'll know when you know, like, you know, when you feel light, you know, when you feel expansive, you know, when you feel like this is awesome, things are really working out, you know, and I will get into those places myself where I'll be like, shit, this is too good. Like, oh, do I need to pull back? And I just tell myself, the better it gets, the better it gets. The better it gets, the better it gets. Because I'll have that little thing in my mind wanting to sabotage, going, oh, but what if the rug is pulled out from under me? What if? And then I got, the better it gets, the better it gets. So I have these little things in my mind. I have a tool belt ready there for when my mind wants to spiral and what I talk myself back into. The better it gets, the better it gets. The more clients I get, the more clients I get. You create your world within the world. Remember that. You create your world within a world. That's what we were birthed here to do. But we don't do that because we're plugged into everyone else's stories. We're plugged into everyone else's experiences. We're plugged into everyone else's distortions. And we live through what everyone else is doing. I'm here to teach you how to unplug from all of that and pave your own path. That's what this is all about. And then I will give you all of the aligned strategy to help really anchor it into the 3D. So we experience our reality literally through the stories that we tell ourselves. And our parents, my parents, all of them would have programmed a lot of those stories. And you're experiencing your reality as a result of what you've embodied from childhood and the stories around me. And so when you tune into the frequency, does it make you feel dense? Does it make you feel heavy? What does it make you feel when you think about money? Scared? Okay, this is a really potent exercise. And I want you to think of money is a frequency. And I want you to know that. And, you know, for all of you, there's different levels of this. And so if you feel like you've hit a glass ceiling with how you're able to receive money, even if it's a decent amount, sit in this, because there's that next layer. Like, there's always that next layer for anyone. Sit in a meditation, and I want you to personify money. Personify money. What does money look like? What name do they have? For everyone, it might be different. You know, that it's a frequency. It's a fractal of source. I want you to have a conversation with it. And I want you to literally ask it, like, you know, see what false truths that you've been given around it, and literally have a conversation. You need to repair this relationship. Think of money as like a person that's always been there, but you've given it such negative energy. You've given it such fear. You've given it such scarcity. And it's kind of like standing there going, well, I'm not giving you anything back then. And it's like, you need to bring it and sit it and look it in the face and be, oh my God, like, let's fix this. Like a relationship. Like, tell me, like, what have I know I've had these wrong perceptions of you for so long, and just get the downloads. It is one of the most profound meditations you could sit in. And every day I want you to build a morning routine around money. Money is your BFF. Like, money, what do I do today? Like, what do you want to do today? Do you want to do this? Like, build a relationship with it and have it be lighthearted. You watch this thing shift. There's no way you can attract money in if you have these real heavy distortions around what it stands for and what it is and how it's ruined your life or made your life. Money's made my life hard. Money's made my parents' life. Money is the cause of arguments. So many distortions around it. I want you to sit it and look it in the eye, give it a name, make it real, like you're sitting with a human in front of you, and have these conversations and make amends with it. Be like, tell me how to work with you. Tell me how to have a relationship with you. And this is a daily freaking practice. It is insane. I used to do this with my entrepreneurs when I would work with them one-on-one. And I can't even tell you guys, I worked with people from when they literally launched their business until they hit 7 figures. And this was the work we did. And so if you hit a glass ceiling with money, maybe you're doing all right. It's like, money, how can we enhance this ability to play? You know, how can I make it like the air I breathe? What are the distortions I have around how I attract you? Yeah. Jerry and Esther Hicks say that having money, like if you're accessing the pure frequency of money, it is as easy as the air you breathe to call it in. How do you want to experience money? Every single one of you, and me included, all of us, we experience money through the distortions or the way we perceive it. So if we've been programmed to think it's hard, I need to do this, I need to do that, I need to make, blah, 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 blah. Okay, money will say, okay, then if you start to train yourself to say, I make money as easily as I breathe, I make money as easily as I breathe, you'll see it show up a lot easier. I can't even tell you like how much this has changed things. Like this is my whole journey when I was working in corporate. Like I was failing, literally on the verge of being fired. Can't believe they didn't fire me. If I was working in the Silicon Valley still, they would have fired me for sure. But I talked myself back into a different reality. And I started making a lot of money in my corporate job to where it was barely like, what am I going to be fired? And it was how I looked it in the eye. I witnessed it. I let it witness me. I just cried to it. Just be vulnerable with it. And guys, these are the things you need to build into your daily practice. This is the feminine stuff I'm teaching you, anchored in with the masculine structure. This needs to be a daily muscle that you build. How are you ever going to get the body you want unless you don't do the work at the gym? This is the stuff that you do. And I promise these are the really potent foundations you lay. And then when we layer that with strategy, so freaking powerful. So you need to be in choice first. You need to know that you have all the choices now, and you need to make them. Obviously smart, like be smart about it. I'm not saying go off and do all of this, but money is cyclical. And if you have to grasp onto it, you cut yourself off from the flow of the universe, the give, the receive, the ebbs and all of it. And so you stop making it mean things. That's all. It's as simple as that, really. So when I look at my bank account and I go, Jesus, I don't make it mean that. Oh, am I meant to mentor? I shouldn't talk about money with people. Am I good enough for blah, 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 just spiral. I just thought, oh, cool. All right. Well, this means that when it comes back in the flow, it's going to go tenfold. I don't make it mean anything. Guys, remember your reality, you experience your reality through the meanings you give things. So if you're looking at your bank account and you're making it mean that, how can I ever, whatever, blah, 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 whatever it is that you give it meaning, that's what gets you into the density. Because you make it mean that you're in scarcity, you don't have enough, you're not going to have choice, you're not going to have the freedom you want, all of it. Just because you've made it mean that. Does that make sense? This is where divine knowing comes in. This is where if you could see it in detail, if you can see it in detail, it must happen. This is where it's important to know the destination. We interrupt this awesome podcast episode to tell you about my life-changing Quantum Business Academy. If you are ready to take your business to the next levels of abundance and freedom, then you're definitely going to want to hear more. Please don't take my word for it though. Here is one of our alumni sharing their experience.
Wow. Where do I even begin with QBA and serotonin and my time in the container? Let's start with knowing that I have the permission to create my wildest, deepest, biggest vision. I had my highest cash day. I completely changed the direction of my business. I landed in my purpose and my passion. I felt like being a part of it all has given me the permission to truly be me and make the deepest impact possible. Yeah, wow. Serotonin and QBA changed my life. It was so deeply healing to be in a space with like-minded people who are service-based, here to literally serve other souls, and to be held in such a space where you can come as you are and you are seen in your unique gifts, your talents, your desires, and to have your vision come to life around other beautiful people is something that I will be forever grateful for. And being led by Sarah in all of her vulnerability, her humor, her loving, unconditional, nurturing ways. Wow. Honestly, wow. If you want to know more, then please head over to my show notes, book a call with me, or you can message me in DMs. Now let's get back to the podcast. Because that's your anchor point. If you don't have an anchor point, you'll get shit whipped by reality. Sorry for the language today. It's just coming out of me. Does that make sense? That's where divine knowing, it's important to know where you're going because you're anchoring into the divine knowing. So when this is a prime example is when I took my mentorship on with Gabby, it was the biggest, you have to look uncertainty in the eyes sometimes and say that. What are you going to do? You're going to make me homeless? I did that when I took on my mentor, because certainty is another matrix plugin that causes people not to make decisions. All of you are in here and you faced uncertainty because you said yes. You backed yourself. But the people who are too plugged into the uncertainty wouldn't take that step. You guys are in the 1% of people
who are doing this type of work in the world. 1% of people do this work. Okay? It's so important that you know where you're going and you anchor into the divine knowing. So I want you guys to understand that if we can get that out of the mindset that money equals choice, so you guys are all in choice right now, money enhances your ability to experience things. So when you say it gives you choice, you're giving your power away to it. When you say it enhances everything, which kind of, you have options, but it's going to enhance everything. Well, then you're just, everything's being enhanced for you. So I want you guys to really differentiate, because false light templates are so sneaky because they'll appear as a truth. They'll appear, well, of course it gives me choice, Sarah. If I don't have the money, I can't choose to fly first class or whatever. Of course it gives me choice. False light templates are very sneaky because you're going to give your power away to money because you're saying that that's the thing that gives you choice. And so what I want you to do is have the mindset, it's just going to enhance my life even more than it's already enhanced. Okay. So I want you guys to be in that. So Nyla, it's important to have what's called a money buffer. And it's basically the amount of money energetically that you can hold. And if you're constantly giving it away, you're not anchoring in a higher buffer. So Brian Tracy, he's kind of an old school, like motivational guy. I highly recommend him. He's old school though. He's like, American, tie and suit and all of it. He says you cannot achieve greatness if you don't know how to properly manage money. And spending it is not properly managing it. It's just a fine line. I don't want it to think that it's the thing that gives you choice, but also how are you going to achieve greatness if you can't manage it properly? I'm not a financial advisor. Please don't ask me how to manage money. I'm not the person to give you guidance. But when you can house more of it, when you can save more of it, you're like anchoring in your energetic buffer. And there's a webinar I did on that. But what I mean by that is, it's like, there's sort of a bare minimum that you'll always attract in, and that's your minimum buffer as a whole. And if you keep spending it, then you're not going to expand your ability to hold more. So like if you keep your buffer at that, then that's what it'll be. But if you expand it to hold, okay, now I have 5,000. Let's do more. What's the next level? What's the next layer? What's the next layer? And so this is where this work sort of comes in. The question around how do I make sure I'm allowing and creating space for the divine? So when you guys ask questions, it's not necessarily me answering your question directly. It's me understanding where this question is coming from, because ultimately that's going to give you the real answer. And so good. I mean, honestly, this is the majority of humanity. We think, gosh, our lives are meant to be light, really? They're meant to be like full of ease and grace, really? Like, I don't think so. Like, I don't know if my friends living like that. Like, I don't know people that, have this. And so it's something that our minds will question whether, the possibility of. And so this comes back to so many different things. I would love for you to write down, and for anyone who's experiencing the same thing, the blocks of their grid that feel really heavy, whether it's a job and how much of this takes up that grid energetically. My job feels heavy. My relationship feels heavy. My social circle feels heavy. And then I want you to write down with those blocks. So you have those blocks, everything. And I want you to write in those blocks every story you've told yourself about that situation. So, for example, if it's a job you don't like, I've told myself a story that, I don't know, every day is going to be hard. Nobody there is uplifting. It sucks my energy dry. And just dump the stories. Dump the stories that you've told yourself about that grid, that block in the grid. And then all I want to do, just in total detachment, is put the other block there of what it is you actually want to experience. This is going to give you an indication for how your programming is actually creating your reality. You're giving your power away to think that this situation is making you feel this, but it's not. It's actually your programming. And these are where all these questions are coming from, because your programming has put you in a situation that you're by default, not even knowing, but you're creating these circumstances around you. And it starts from the stories that we tell ourselves. And these stories are created most likely from when you were a child, and from what you witnessed your parents go through. And so I want you to block out the grid that feels heavy and write all the stories. And this is just, you're going to witness your programming. This is you witnessing your programming. It's so subconscious, but you're just experiencing the symptoms of it. So we're going to sift through all this freaking heaviness sift through it all. So then you're like, oh, this is how I experience inspiration in my downloads. Oh, this is what lightness feels like. Oh, okay, great. I get it now. So it's not about shifting out of a job or changing your physical reality. It's about brain dumping all of these stories, which you're programming and witnessing it, and then getting to choose, because we are deliberate creators and we experience our life through choice, choosing differently and practicing, creating a practice around reprogramming our neurons. And you guys, I swear you watch as your life will shift. But can you understand like how you wouldn't want to build a business with all this stuff in here? Why this stuff is important to clear out first? Here's the thing. The reason why we have a vision, we have a goal, all of us, is because we think that thing will make us feel something. That's the only reason we want anything in our life. Literally, is because we think that thing will make us feel something. I want a new car. It'll make me feel cool. I don't know. I want a new house. It'll make me feel free, glamorous, secure, whatever it is. Doesn't matter. I want a business. It'll make me feel purposeful, like I'm having an impact. It'll make me feel abundant. Like the only reason we ever have a vision or a goal, or we think we are, is because that thing, we think it's that thing that'll make us feel something. First, what you need to understand is what it is you're wanting to feel more of in your life. You're wanting to feel more freedom. You're wanting to feel more purposeful. You're wanting to feel more impactful. Get into that embodiment. The embodiment is the mission. Remember that. It's not, the vehicle is the business. The embodiment is the mission. Do you guys understand how we differentiate the two? It's about embodying what it is you want to feel first, and the vehicle will kind of show itself. Oh, that's my business. No, there's my divine inspiration, because now I'm clear on what it is that I want to feel. Does that make sense to you guys? Are you good with that? Yeah. So it's about identifying that first and being in that embodiment first, because we don't want to give our power away to that thing, to say that thing is the only thing that will make me feel that as well. So it's really, really pulling all of this apart and understanding our human psyche and how we give our power away to so many external things, making us think that that thing is going to make me feel something, where you need to be the embodiment of it first, so you're not giving your power away to that thing. Assume the feeling before made manifest. Yes, Neville Goddard. If you guys don't know Neville's work, get onto it. He's amazing. This is why. You don't want to give your power away to that external thing making you feel something. You assume the feeling first, and then you watch your reality give you all of the enhancements that will make you experience it in physical reality. Our mind thinks that that thing will make us feel something, but oftentimes we'll get that thing and we're kind of like, bow, not quite feeling what I thought I would. So can you see how we'll have those conflicting points of attraction then? So we have to understand what it is we want to feel and assume that feeling, and the universe will mirror that and enhance that through our physical reality. And it'll give us unexpected surprises in completely unexpected ways.
Thank you so much for listening today, beautiful soul. I hope you got so much gold and were activated in such a way that you could step into your highest timeline of abundance and freedom, because it is more than possible for you. If that desire has been planted in your soul, it is so deliberate. If you wouldn't mind, please rate, review, subscribe to this podcast so that we can get this message into the hearts and ears of more amazing light beings across the world. I would love to continue this conversation with you, so feel free to get in touch on Instagram at sarah.tynan.quantumcoach. If you're a Facebook person, you can find me on Facebook at facebook.com/Sarah Tynan International. And please don't ever forget, if your desire is there, it's because your destiny is there too. You just have to remember who you are. Bye for now, beautiful.